Who here likes viruses? No one should say yes. People always freak out about getting viruses on the computer. They will do whatever it takes to feel safe. So what do? Well, they download antivirus softwares like AVG to scan viruses on your computer. And then that day when the red icon shows up that says you have a virus on your computer, it ruins people's lives. These viruses can completely take over your computer. They can duplicate themselves, they can corrupt Windows files, they can corrupt your personal files like photos and stuff like that. And no one likes that. Well, today I'm going to show how to make a non-harmful virus in Turing. This could be to prank one of your friends, this could be to get back at one of your enemies, this could be anything. Now before I begin explaining this, you need to understand three concepts. Number one is the modules. This is so that it appears hidden in the main program. Number two is processes. This is so that the virus can happen while something else is happening. This makes it appear like the virus isn't happening. And number three is loading and saving files. This is what the virus is going to do. It's going to save a bunch of files. So you got to understand that concept. So let's begin with our module. So we're going to type unit and then our module, and let's call it bunny. Inside the module, we're going to make an export statement that says all, so it exports everything in the module. Now we're going to make a process, let's call it hop. So for the virus to work, I need 5 variables. So I have stream, file position, count, and then file name and extension. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with all of those. So count, I'm going to initialize to 1, and then extension, I'm going to initialize to be .txt. And then we begin our loop. So, right off the bat, we're going to name the file to be the string version of the counting variable, and then we're going to add the extension to it, so that it knows that it's a .txt file. And now it's time for us to open our file. So we're going to type stream, file name, put, and then seek. Now remember that this variable cannot be given a value, and this variable too. You can learn more about that in my loading and saving files video. And now we're going to tell our file position, which means we're going to record the position in this variable. And now we can start putting things inside the file. So I can say whatever I want. Let's say, you just got pranked. And then let's say I want to do another thing that says, prank by Ogany Supreme. And then we're going to seek that file position, so it goes back to at the beginning of the file. And then we're going to close our file. Now, one thing that is critical to success in this virus, you gotta be careful for how much stuff you're putting inside each file. Because the reason why this virus is so powerful is because it saves thousands or hundreds, depending on how fast your computer is, of files that are really small. So it saves a bunch of files that are really small, like I'm talking like a few bytes. By adding more stuff to each file, you can drastically decrease speed, and it won't really increase the file size that much, unless if you add a lot of stuff. Another point that's crucial is you gotta increase the count by 1 each time. This is so that it doesn't keep opening and saving the same exact file. Now I can save my module in a folder I made specifically for this virus. Now in my main program, I can import my bunny module so I can use this process. Now, another point of this virus is it's gotta appear like it's doing one thing, like playing a video game or something, when really, in the background, it's doing something else, which is the virus. So, I'm gonna make a quick number guessing game. So this is my number guessing game. It has 3 variables. One is the number you're guessing, one is the answer, and one is to determine if you want to play again or not. Then in a loop, it randomly selects a number from 1 to 10 and assigns it to answer, and it asks for a number from 1 to 10. Then in another loop, it gets the number and then it determines if it's too big or too small, and if you got it, it exits the loop, and then it says you guessed correctly, play again. And if you put no with all lower cases and no punctuation or anything, then it exits. Otherwise it'll say, alright, let's go again. And then at the end of the loop, let's say we want to put something like check your folder that contains this game. just to be creepy. So I did everything but one thing. I did not call my process. So I go fork bunny.hop. Then I can save my main program in the same folder. So right in here, I'm just going to have this folder open to show the effect. So let's test the virus. Enter a number from 1 to 10. 1, 7, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Check your folder that contains this game. So that took me about 5 seconds to do. Let's see its effect. As you can see, it just saved a bunch of files. I mean a bunch. Saved 9,039 files. I'm gonna open up Task Manager just to show you just how much CPU power this uses. So here we go. I'm gonna delete it. So right now it's still discovering all the files. If you look, it uses a lot of CPU power. About half of my entire CPU. That's a lot. And it uses also about a quarter of my RAM. And I have 16 gigs of RAM. Now if your computer is slower than mine, it might not save as much files as you saw mine do. Also, another thing to keep in mind, technically you don't need a module, but you do need a process. So you can put this process in your main program and then fork it like this. But the purpose of the module is so that it's in a different file. You don't see it. So no one can look at the main code and then go, hey, what's that? That's not nice, get rid of that. Who put that there? But if it's in a module, they can't tell. So thank you guys for watching this tutorial. Hopefully this will come with great or terrible use for you. If you have any other ways of making this virus, or if you have any other ideas of how to make a virus in Turing, then you can leave that in the comments below. This is Ogany Supreme, logging off.